Playland is basically an entertainment center that we provide the rides, the games, some free attractions, street entertainers. So in general, we're here to entertain the young and younger people. The majority we hire 15 to the 19-year-old group. Usually they'll apply online. They'll get some form of an interview from HR. And then from there, they'll be transferred to, the applicants will be transferred to separate departments where they've actually applied for the first choice. And then from there, it's up to the departments to interview them.
We'll welcome you to Playland.
Once they come into our department, we have them going through the orientation. We do have an orientation booklet that we'll go through, and they actually take that with them. Well, most of the employees that we do hire, it's their first jobs, so we really have to get to the details and start right from the beginning, from the customer service to the safety aspect, because they haven't really worked anywhere else. They haven't had any previous training. After all of that, we'll go to the ride training aspect, and we'll make sure we cover all details again.
It goes upside down a lot.
It's so important that we go through that booklet for each ride. So from everything from how many riders can fit into this car seat, to maybe how fast the ride goes, to what's the height restriction. We're big here on height restriction. So anything that could be safe.
And then after an hour, hour and a half of going through the booklet, we'll actually take them to the ride and actually do a walkthrough of what we discussed and actually kind of simulate how the guests will be coming on and off and what their job expectations would be.
And at that, when running a ride, like these rides are really big, right? And they move around a lot. There's always areas where the workers have to stand.
On the ride itself, you would notice, if you would ever to look at a ride, there's a yellow spot, a yellow circle, that's indicating where we stand. It's the safest position as the ride is operating, so we're not too close to the ride.
I also tell them, if they're ever uncomfortable about entering something, if they're not sure about something, I just ask them, you step back and you call one of us.
There's a checklist that we go through, and they need to know and understand every detail of that list, and our forepersons will go through each step and putting a little check mark next to it that yes, we did cover it. The operator did understand what was said. We'll have them work at least 2 shifts with someone at all times. It'll be someone with the experienced person who's worked here maybe 2 or 3 years.
I was assigned with a senior rides operator. So I would pair up with her on the ride, and she would watch me very closely. She would watch me help assist the guests in, help them assist the guests out, and they would watch me how to operate. And oftentimes they would ask me how comfortable I was, if I knew what I was doing.
We let them on the ride maybe for about a week. Maybe at the end of the first week, hopefully it's a full-time week and they get a lot of shifts in there, right? We'll come back with follow-up training. And at that time, we'll go through pretty much the same steps that we trained them with. They know what our expectations are of them. They've been on the ride, they're comfortable on the ride. They even pick up new stuff that maybe we've missed, right?
We do an interim report for each employee as well after like a month and a half, which we give to them as well so they can see for themselves how well they've been doing.
With the orientation, it's helped us to be comfortable with the ride, most importantly, for the guest safety and for our safety.
We spend the time and effort and the money on training the younger people. It's going to benefit the entertainment industry ourselves more than anything, and we'll get the bigger return in the end. And if we can do that, we're hopefully getting more guests coming every year, which the trend has shown the last 5 years as well with the customer service and exceptional safety record.